Hi everyone, how you doing? I am Clara and I'm back with another one of my escape room board game reviews. So a little while ago I reviewed Mystery House. Mystery House, it's sort of a base game and you get these plug-in modules, a bit like the original Time Stories games. And so I played through the two base games and I was really excited to get my hands on the expansion. I finally got around to buying the first expansion, which is Back to Tombstone. So how does this work? Like I say, I've already reviewed and explained what Mystery House is, but I'll go over a little bit, just very briefly, remind you of the mechanics of it. I'll tell you what I thought of, and then I'll tell you what I thought of Back to Tombstone. I'll do it spoiler free. There won't be a spoiler one. I don't think this needs a separate spoiler version. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? So what is Mystery House? So Mystery House, like I say, you need the base game to be able to play these modules. And what you get is this grid, this weird box, and you plug cards in, and these cards come from the plug-in modules. And so what it means is that you'll only be able to see certain things. Like maybe if you've got cards all around the outside, you'll only be able to see the cards. You won't be able to see further in. And you build this little maze. It's got all these clever sections. It's a really innovative and clever design, and it's really good fun. And the first two, I'll put that down. The first two, Lord of the Labyrinth, was great. It used this, that there's a labyrinth, and as you go through and solve puzzles, you can remove walls and you move further through the labyrinth. Works really, really well. The second one, or the first one, also in the base game, Family Portrait. Same sort of thing. You go to this house, it's a big old mansion, and you see the outside, and then you start going through the door and all this lot. Works really well. Works with an app. You do need the app, but the app works really beautifully with it. It's definitely a really well integrated app that it works with it rather than working against it. And so it's just this really awesome system. And so, yeah, this first expansion, Back to Tombstone, came out earlier in the year, but I've only just been able to get my hands on it. And yeah, I was really, really excited. So me and my housemate, there was actually three of us. We actually had a friend over to stay. We had a sort of pre-Christmas dinner because that's what time of year it is. And we played through it. This other friend we've done a few escape rooms with, and we've played a few exit games. So, you know, we're all on the same wavelength. I will say it was a very relaxing time. We weren't in any rush whatsoever because it was like a pre-Christmas dinner, right? I'd finished work for the winter season, so we were just chilling and talking. So we weren't really worried about the time. So I'm not going to sort of comment on the time aspect, but in terms of the actual going through and the puzzles, what did I think of that? The theme. So it's this Western theme. You arrive, you come to this town, and it's all barricaded, and then you manage to get into the town, and there's different buildings, and you open these different buildings and go in. Like, the theme worked really well, like with the house, with the labyrinth. It worked really well. And the story in this is so good. It's just, I mean, the stories were okay in the others, but for this one it worked really well. That, you know, there's a mystery. Basically, you arrive and things are blocked off. Why are they blocked off? Okay, you're getting in. What's going on here? Okay, what's going on there? You know what the story is, and you know what it is you're looking for because the theme works really well. And so, yeah, I actually just really enjoyed the story, the way it came out and stuff. There's not loads and loads of text. Like some of these escape rooms that have loads of text, it'll be very RPG and loads of reading. This one, not so much. And yet you still know exactly what the story is. You know what the beginning is of arriving, you know the middle, trying to figure out what's going on, learning more, and then you know what the end is. That's brilliant storytelling from so this is from Cranial Games. This is brilliant storytelling with very little text, which is brilliant, which is really, really good. And the system, like I say, it works really, really well for the theme. In terms of the actual puzzles themselves, so with escape room board games, or even escape rooms in general, there's sort of a couple of different ones, right? There's for me, I sort of very broadly categorized as observational puzzles where you just have to see something and realize and put it together. And then there's others where you put a few clues together and you've got to work them out. So sometimes it's just a case of observation. Sometimes you've really got to put it together. And this one was very much on the observation side. I don't remember any clues where I thought we were, you know, normally with the sort of writing down type clues, figuring it out, you'll be writing it down and drawing it in different ways. We weren't doing that with this. You know, everything we saw, we knew whether it went together or not. We knew what it was that we had to do. So it's like, oh, we found this, so now we do this. Now we've got this, we do that. Combine it with this. So it's very much the more procedural type of puzzle, the more observational type of puzzle than the, you know, turn it to the left, turn it around to the right. What about if we turn it upside down? It didn't have that aspect. It didn't have that feel. That's what I love. I love that sort of puzzle. The observational ones I like, but not as much. So with this one, I'd say that I didn't enjoy the puzzles as much, but I really enjoyed the story. And like I say, I knew the story, even though it wasn't very, there wasn't much reading. It was great. So this was great. Another brilliant use. I still think it's brilliant the way they use the box. I know that there's a second expansion, which in some places I'm reading it's out, but I've not actually seen it available yet. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. That's set on a sort of deserted spaceship, I believe. So that sounds cool, kind of Aliens, Event Horizon type theme. But yeah, this one, like I say, I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed the puzzles from the first two. But I think the story on this one was so strong, and certainly it was fun. And we got into the role, and we were, you know, messing about and having fun with it. And like I say, we were doing it in a very relaxed way. The actual puzzles themselves, I think we got one clue. I don't remember getting any more than that. And time, you know, we did it in an hour and a half rather than an hour because we were just taking our time. But yeah, highly recommend it. If you liked Mystery House and the original ones, definitely give this a go. Really good fun. Back to Tombstone, although ironically I've not been to Tombstone before, so it's hardly back, is it, eh? Anyway, yeah, so that's Mystery House from Crinio Games, Back to Tombstone. Highly recommend it. If you like this video, like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and until next time, take care and bye bye.